This is the Rayman Legends Any speedrun, and within about 11 seconds of starting the game, we immediately stop playing as Rayman. We go completely out of our way to enter the Heroes Gallery, switch to Globox, and then play the entire rest of Rayman's own game as him. And this isn't some weird personal preference. For years, Globox has effectively been the only character used in serious Any runs, which raises a fairly obvious question. How did Rayman get replaced in his own game? Because strangely enough, this wasn't always obvious. 8 years ago, DJTHED uploaded a video asking almost the exact same question. Is Globox faster for any speedruns? And at the time, the answer was basically, not really. Rayman Legends speedrunning was much less developed back then. A lot of the ridiculous movement and mechanical optimizations used today either hadn't been discovered yet or weren't being used nearly as aggressively. So spending 11 seconds at the start of the run just to change character was actually a meaningful investment. DJTHED tested both characters across a few different scenarios, and after all of that, Rayman was about 600 milliseconds faster. So at the time, there really wasn't much in it. There were obviously still optimizations to find, but choosing Rayman or Globox was largely preference, which is very funny in hindsight, because today choosing Rayman would basically be competitive self-harm. And the reason starts with one incredibly stupid property Globox has, his back kick. For some reason, Globox's backwards attack has an absolutely ridiculous hitbox. It reaches much farther than Rayman's equivalent attack, and more importantly, Globox can hit things through walls. This sounds like a tiny character difference. It isn't. Rayman Legends Any contains loads of situations where you're forced to interact with an enemy or Teensie before the game lets you continue. And every time Globox can reach one of those from somewhere Rayman can't, you start shaving off little chunks of time. And those chunks are everywhere. Take one too. Globox can simply backkick enemies from positions where Rayman would have to actually climb onto the platform and reach them normally. Globox? Done. Rayman has to participate in the level like some sort of law-abiding citizen. In 1.5, there's another enemy behind a wall. Rayman has to waste time ground pounding to get into position and hit it properly. Globox just attacks through the wall because apparently collision is more of a suggestion to him. Then 5.3 is where this starts becoming ridiculous. There's a Teensie that Rayman has to spend several seconds flying around to reach normally. Globox can hit the target through the wall and move on almost immediately. Several seconds for one interaction. There's also the spinning flame circle room. Modern movement allows Globox to reach a Teensie from a position Rayman simply can't exploit in the same way, saving another several seconds. And there are loads of examples like this. That's an important part of why the answer changed over time. Globox didn't receive a patch making him faster, the community simply got better at the game. The more optimized Rayman Legends became, the more opportunities runners found to abuse Globox's stupid hitboxes. So gradually, the 11 seconds spent switching characters became less and less important. But none of this is what completely killed Rayman, because then we have the rediscovery of the co-op zip. The basic idea is that under the right conditions, Globox can use his interaction with another character to effectively teleport them through geometry, which is already broken. But in an any speedrun, it becomes disgusting, because one of the places this can be used is in the world for a boss. Normally, you have to play through this boss's third phase. With the co-op zip, you don't. You can teleport through and skip phase 3 entirely. And this is the point where the argument ends. Before the co-op zip, you could at least theoretically debate the 11-second character switch cost against Globox's smaller advantages throughout the run. Make a route change, maybe some Rayman optimization gets discovered, maybe this character remains reasonably competitive. After this, no. Globox now has all of his existing advantages, the longer back kick, attacks through walls, faster enemy interactions, several individual multi-second saves, and now an enormous boss skip that Rayman physically cannot perform. The 11 seconds at the beginning of the run cease to matter. You spend 11 seconds picking Globox because you're about to make those 11 seconds back several times over, and suddenly a character who was already becoming increasingly useful goes from being slightly better in certain situations to essentially mandatory. And that's why, for years now, serious any % records have used Globox. Rayman wasn't banned, nobody made a rule forcing runners to use Globox. The game itself just became understood well enough that choosing Rayman stopped making sense, which makes the history of this even stranger. And I think that's the funniest part of this whole thing. The better we got on Rayman Legends, the worse Rayman became. So, 8 years after DJTHED originally asked the question, is Globox faster for any % speedruns? Yes. Very much yes. So much faster that modern Rayman Legends speedruns begin by deliberately wasting 11 seconds just to make sure you don't have to play as Rayman or Guy.